As we have with web design and development and several other elements of digital marketing, let's look at the step-by-step process in email marketing. Some of these steps will likely look familiar as several things play across digital channels. First, grow your database. I talked about this a little bit in the last lecture about the database and using it for email marketing. This is the most important asset in an email campaign. You will need to grow your database organically as users have to opt in to receive emails from you. If you spam users, you risk your reputation and credibility. There are also rules against doing this. There are several ways, though, to get people to sign up for your email list. On your company website, maybe even right there on the homepage, in your social media accounts, through blogs and blog posts, in your email signatures for employees in the company, and maybe even in presentations that you deliver. So think about ways to do that and then what information you want to gather when you have users sign up. You really only need their email address, but you may want their name, gender, location, birth date, or phone number, or other information. However, be sure to only ask for the information you will use. You don't want to tax users in the sign-up process and make them abandon signing up altogether. So grow your database. Next, design your email. Email should be created in HTML for desktop and most mobile devices. Simpler phones will require text-only emails. Many email clients can send in both formats and can just deliver text for those users that can't use HTML. HTML emails can contain images, links, and various fonts, and they tend to look like mini web pages. Follow your general design principles and refer back to the web design principles lecture, as many of these hold for email marketing as well. These are also covered in the text in more depth. Now it's time to think about your content. It has to be relevant and valuable to the consumer, as with any digital asset, or really any marketing asset. Content should be informative and should address the problems and needs of the user. As with UX design, it's important to consider the user or reader first in terms of their needs, not your needs. Newsletters can offer humor, research, information, promotions, or exclusive content. All of this can be useful to the reader depending on their needs. Specifics of developing content can be found in the text in the Content Strategy lecture in my previous course, or in the Writing for Digital lecture earlier in this course. So you've got your content. Now we need to segment that database that we worked so hard to build. This is where we allow for mass customization. Email is essentially one-to-one marketing on a macro scale. Even the simplest personalization, for example, using someone's name, can improve results. You can also segment across demographics, purchase history, or behavior, and other facets of all that information that you gathered when you had people sign up. The more you know about your users, the more you can segment and personalize. Now it's time to deploy, or simply stated, send the email marketing. You should develop a plan for frequency and newsletters versus standalone emails, etc. Just like you would with any other media. You can make a media plan for your email tactics, balancing those longer-term returns, such as with a newsletter, with more immediate ones, with like a promotional email. You can also look at various messaging that goes out across your planned time. And you don't want to send emails too often for the content and the users, as that will damage your reputation. You don't want to annoy your users with all the messages that you're sending. So you want to make sure that you have a plan for deployment of all that content. Next, it's measurement time. Like other digital channels, a great benefit of email marketing is that you can track nearly everything. We looked at some of the KPIs earlier in this lesson, but they bear repeating. You'll want to look at your number of emails delivered, your bounce rate, your number of unique emails opened, your unsubscribed, so people that are requesting to unsubscribe from your email list, and your pass-on rate, as well as your click-through and conversion rates. And this seems maybe counterintuitive, but at the end, there's the testing phase. You'll actually want to do this continually once you've launched your campaign. So from that deployment step on, you want to make sure that you're testing. So you can see what works best and what doesn't perform as well, then optimize based on those tests. One kind of test you can do is an A/B split test, which involves sending one version of your message to a percentage of your audience, A, and another version to the remainder of the audience, B, and then see how each performs against the other. You can test things like subject lines, the time of day that you send, the day of the week that you send, layout, text versus button links, various segments of your database, and various call to action statements, among other things.